Welcome to another Baby Theater. Today, we're going to talk about Mario. Yes, Mario. You could almost say he's Super Mario. See, he's this Italian plumber, because that's what they're known for, plumbers. He's making a real good spaghetti. Yeah. See, you're there. He's making a real good spaghetti. Well, thing about it is you're going up and down ladders all day, right? Getting into the sewage, right? Well, that makes it real easy to scale large buildings that are being built. And it just so happens that King Kong has like this crazy need for climbing up non-constructed buildings. And so, that's why they always say there's a deadline, to build buildings. You can't just leave the guts up there, And so King Kong's like, yo, 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 boy. I'm King Kong. Yeah. And King Kong's like, well, I'm going to take something that makes me pretty popular. And that's going to be Luigi. Because Luigi is like his brother, right? And so King Kong takes Luigi. Mario's like, I gotta save you, brother. They're both plumbers, Yeah, but they share the same occupation, nepotism, right? And typically what happens is, he's like climbing down ladders, up and down ladders all day. Well, then he's like, all of a sudden he's like a construction worker. It's pretty crazy. And then, guess what? Get this part. This part's crazy. Because his leg muscles are so built from coming up and down ladders, he can jump real high. Like, crazy high. You know how they say, well, I tell him to jump, and they ask how high. Well, one time, somebody, the plumber boss was like, hey, jump. And Mario was like, how high? And he says, high as the Empire State Building. Guess what? Boom. He jumped, and he got to like 3rd floor. That's crazy. So he didn't quite make it. But, he can scale high buildings with a single bound. It's a long bound, right? But it's a long bound, but it's there. He can still do it. But there was this one incident, though, where he jumped over like this real big area. And as he was jumping, he was like, watch out below! Eee! And what happened was somebody didn't watch out below, and he stomped on their head. He flattened like a pancake. It made the sound. Made that sound. I know. And the person was flattened, blood everywhere. It was a bloody mess, man. Like, I think blood on the walls, blood on the concrete. Yeah. Blood on the walls, blood on the concrete, everything. And then, what happened? Then what happened? Uh-oh, don't fall over, buddy. Whee! And then what happened was they tried to pull him up, put him up on charges, right? But since he said, "Look out below," it was like a government sign because he was like a plumber or something. And since they didn't watch out below, that was actually the problem. It wasn't necessarily that Mario's jump was the issue. It was actually Mario's, yeah. Want some foods? Baba? Baba? Here you go. Here you go, Baba. So it wasn't necessarily Mario's jump that was the problem. It was more that the person didn't move out of the way. So it was kind of a technicality, but Mario got off on it. And so he's like, "Oh, I gotta save King Kong. I gotta save Luigi from King Kong." And so he climbs up all the ladders, to get into this construction site. Some parts he had to jump pretty weirdly and like jump onto like bars in the air. They were just hanging by a thread, and a couple times he almost fell, but he didn't. Anyway, oh yeah, the other thing is King Kong was rolling these barrels down the construction site, which you wouldn't think would be effective at all. It's not like it's like a level field or anything. But it turned out it pretty much was. And he lit them on fire and they had gas in them. So these it's just exploding barrels, man. Mario was like jumping over them. And then he gets about 75% way through. And guess who he sees? Yoshi. And Yoshi and Mario had some bad blood. Yoshi's like a dinosaur, which is really rare. They're really extinct. They're said to be extinct, but Yoshi's like the only one left. And there's another one I think called Birdo, but I don't know. They don't really label her as a dinosaur per se, but they should. I don't know. They should, I think. And then what happened was, Yoshi was there and he was like, and he ate Mario's hammer. And also his like big wrench, his plumber wrench. So he didn't have any weapons, and Mario, "Why you do it?" And Yoshi was like, "Nope." Ate his overalls. So like all he had were his whitey tighties and some red shirt. At least it was long sleeve. So he didn't get cold. And so he hopped onto Yoshi and he goes, "Bloop," and then he tried to he goes, "Oh, this is a big jump, Yoshi," and Yoshi's like, "No, stop." Or actually Yoshi didn't say anything. Bloop, bloop. And then Yoshi he jumped off Yoshi. And Yoshi flew off. And Yoshi flew off into the depths. He said, "Not again." He said, "Not again." And flew off. But then, so Mario finally, climbs his way all the way up. And he gets there. And King Kong and Luigi are there. And guess what? King Kong's like, "Save me, Mario!" And Mario's like, "What are you talking about? I'm here to save Luigi." And King Kong looked offended, Turns out, Luigi kidnapped King Kong. Mario got his, wires crossed. And so Luigi's over there like, "Ha, ha, 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 ha." And he's got King Kong tied up. And Luigi goes, "Mario, obviously I do this all the time, I'm the Mario Land Strangler." And Mario's like, "What? I didn't even know about this." And Luigi's like, "Dude, I told you 4 times, 5 times." Mario's like, I thought you were joking, dude. I thought you were joking. So, Mario did what he had to do. He did a big jump and landed right on Luigi's head and crunched him flat. That was it. Just crunched him like bones and all. Just, Baba. Baba. Okay. Yeah. Well, look at you, so sweet. And King Kong was like, "Thank you, Mario. What can I do to repay you?" And Mario's like, "Well, this building needs to be constructed. So, are you a construction worker?" And Donkey Kong said, "Just as a matter of fact, I am." And so Mario and King Kong, they worked together to basically finish the building. And it was about 40, 50 floors or stories or whatever. And it's about 40, 50 stories. So it was pretty a huge building. It was a lot of work, but they did it. And then they moved all the office furniture in and all that. And then everybody worked from home. So it was just kind of empty. And, there was a big homeless problem at the time. So it was just really strange that they had this big entire building that everybody worked from home and nobody lived there. But, hey, they finished it at least. It has all the furniture in there. It's fully furnished. Yeah, but it's just sitting there. Yeah. But that's pretty much the whole story. There is one last bit, though, is that Mario's hammer, right? Yoshi, at the very end, he was just about to hit the ground, and he said, "Bleh," and he spit the hammer out. He was like a hammerhead. And it was, and at the very end of the story, it goes, da 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 da, and, they got the building finished, and then the hammer, it just slams right into the last nail. And so Yoshi helped complete the building. But once it slammed on the last nail, it bounced up and hit Mario right in the fucking face. And his whole face got smashed up. Should have seen it, like his nose was hanging. His nose was hanging like this. Like that. And then it bounced off of Mario's face. And it goes straight into DK's head. And King Kong was like, he had this big gap here, like this. And then he said, "Nah," and a plane came, and a plane crashed into the building. And everything exploded. Uh-oh. Yeah. Oh, okay. And that was the whole end of it. But Miles wants to say bye-bye. Say bye-bye, Miles. Say bye. Say bye. Miles, say bye. Say bye. Say bye. Bye. Yay. Bye. Say bye. Say bye. Bye.